Everybody, this is Mike Brenner coming to you with the Brenner Blast and the Brenner Breakdown for college football Saturday the 22nd. I'm filming this video and I already know the Chicago Cubs did not get it done on the free pick. They had their asses handed to them. I take responsibility. We are still in the 60 percentile though on our free pick, so no shame here. But you know what? Shame on the Chicago Cubs. All right, guys, we got a lot of action tomorrow in college football, so I'm going to break down a whole bunch of games, and I've got two picks that I'm going to be giving out for free on this video for college football. All right, Nebraska's at Michigan. Right now, Nebraska 0-2. The Scott Frost era has began, and I'm telling you, that quarterback's questionable. That team is questionable right now, but it takes time to build a monster. That guy walked into UCF, which was a complete mess, turned it around, so I'm confident he'll do the same thing at Nebraska. Michigan is favored in this game, -18. The total's at 50.5. No call. All right, then we got Ole Miss taking on Kent State. Ole Miss is pissed off. Somebody gonna pay for that shit, by God. They are absolutely just, I mean, they got their asses handed to them last week by the best team in college football, and it wasn't even close. It wasn't a game. It made them look like a bunch of, not even, it made them look like a little league team, but Kent State's going to take the brunt of that. We'll see what happens, though. Ole Miss's defense does not impress me whatsoever, so if Kent State can cover this, I wouldn't be surprised. Right now, Ole Miss favored -28.5. The total's at 74.5. These are early games. All right, guys, Georgia at Missouri. Right now, Georgia's favored -14. The total is at 64.5. That's going to be a tough battle. That will be an absolute battle down there in Missouri. No call on that one. All right, guys, Notre Dame at Wake Forest. Here we go. Notre Dame's 3-0 in the year. Wake Forest 2-1. They're feeling pretty good about themselves. Their defense has been stepping up. Right now, Notre Dame is favored -7. The total's 59.5. It's their first road game for Notre Dame, and I'm telling you, I still think they have the most overrated coach in all of college football. Within the next 2 years, I guarantee you, Brian Kelly is out. All right, then we got Louisville at Virginia. Louisville off to a 2-1 start this year, just like Virginia. And Virginia's favored at home, -5. The total's at 52.5. Louisville's got a new quarterback. And Virginia, though, they got pounded last year versus Louisville, so this might be a revenge game. Again, Louisville going with a new quarterback. I'm off of that one. NIU at Florida State. Willie Taggart, you ought to be ashamed of yourself for crying out loud. All the talent you get up there in the panhandle at Florida State, and you can't pick up the Jimbo Fisher pieces and move forward. Willie, you're a nice guy. You're a decent coach, but guess what? Head coach, out of the question unless you want to go to high school or middle school. And I'm not kidding you right there. You are out of your league, son. It's over. You will not turn that program around. As soon as they get rid of Willie Taggart, they're going to be a better organization. Hey, nice guy, though. Maybe he can help out in the hallways at school, but he is not an NFL coach or a college football coach, for crying out loud. I heard talk when he first took the job, he would be one of the top 3 guys selected to take an NFL job after this year. Guess what? Hey, Willie, that's over, baby. You're in the long league. You're in the wrong sport. Get out of town, for crying out loud. NIU, oh my God, they lost 2. This town got, I don't know. I don't even know how to talk about this game anymore. I'm so sick because of Willie Taggart. That guy's got no business coaching anybody, for crying out loud. Florida State's favored -10. I don't know why. Total's at 44.5. I got no call on that one until Willie Taggart's gone. I'll have no call on Florida State unless I fade him. I got a good buddy of mine, Steve Iaruli. Old Steve down there in Lombo Key, Florida. I'm sure you're jumping on this bandwagon. Get rid of Willie Taggart. He thinks it's Halloween. He's dressing up as a head coach. Crying out loud. All right, I feel better now. A&M taking on Bama. Bama's Bama. A&M is A&M. Speaking of Jimbo Fisher, you got your work cut out for you, son. That total is at 61. The game is -26. Clemson, number 2 in the country, taking on Georgia Tech. Tell you what, though, Clemson struggles from time to time with that run offense of Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech, though, they are the number 1 rushing team in college football. That cannot be overlooked. This could be a tough battle. Clemson on the road, favored -15.5. The total is sitting at 62. All right, guys, Tulane's taking on Ohio State. Urban Meyer's back, even though he really never left. All right now it's minus 37, and the total sitting at 68. We'll see what happens. Ohio State has some issues now on defense with Bosa out, and they got another a hole to plug in the defense as well. So we'll see what happens there. All right, guys, here we go. We got to keep this rolling. This is a long video. I'm still pissed off about Willie Taggart in Florida State. Jesus, God. Somebody get him out of there. South Carolina at Vandy. South Carolina's off to a 1-1 start. Vandy's off to a 2-1 start. South Carolina on the road is favored minus 2.5. That total right now is sitting at 54. All right. Georgia shut South Carolina's run game down completely. Let's see if Vanderbilt can do the same, because Vanderbilt, they gave Notre Dame a run for their money. Damn near got that win. TCU at Texas. This ought to be an in-state rival for the ages right now. TCU on the road is favored minus 3. The total sitting at 47.5. Both of these teams are 2-1 thus far this season. The quarterback position is very questionable in Texas, so we'll see what happens with the Texas Longhorns there. All right, UConn at Syracuse. Syracuse feeling pretty good about themselves after being FSU, but you know what, guys? Take your time. I wouldn't be that excited. We're talking about Florida State, who looks like a 101 ranked team in the country, okay? So you can't gauge your talent on Florida State as nobody else can this year. Syracuse off to a 3-0 start. Facing UConn at home. UConn is 1-2 right now, and that quarterback, he absolutely loves throwing interceptions, so Syracuse might feast on that. I've got no call. Syracuse at home on an emotional high, favored minus 29, total sitting at 75.5. Again, Syracuse, take it easy. Don't get excited. It was only Florida State you beat. Florida taking on Tennessee. Florida Gators 2-1. Tennessee 2-1. Wow. I'll tell you what, though. Tennessee got pounded by Virginia, and that's a quality team. Florida, minus 4, the total sitting at 44.5, but Florida's got some major offensive issues, especially on the quarterback side, so we're going to stay off of that one. Texas Tech taking on Oklahoma State. Right now, Texas Tech is 2-1 on the year. Oklahoma State off to a 3-0 start. Oklahoma State is favored minus 14. The total sitting at 76.5. All right, I'm telling you, for both of these teams, defense is optional. If you don't want to play defense, that's where you go to school at Texas Tech or Oklahoma State. Both their defenses are absolutely trash. So this could be an offensive juggernaut. Again, Oklahoma State minus 14. Texas Tech, I don't know. I don't think they can hang in there. But you never know, because like I said, defense optional in this one. The total's at 76.5. Are you kidding me? All right, then you got Stanford. Stanford taking on Oregon. Stanford's off to a 3-0 start. So is Oregon, but Oregon really hasn't been tested yet. Stanford favored on the road, minus 2.5, and the total is sitting at 56. All right, guys, I'm going to get into it. I got 2 calls that I'm going to give out, and I'm glad to give them away for free, because both of them are going to be ticket cashers. So let's get into it. All right, first one is Michigan State. Michigan State at Indiana. They're minus 5.5. They're a road favorite. Indiana, they beat Virginia, feeling pretty good about that, but last year they lost to the Spartans. MSU, Michigan State, they've had a week off to lick their wounds from that loss to Arizona State. I think they're too well coached. They got too much talent, and I just think Indiana's not going to have enough in the end. So pull that trigger. Michigan State Spartans on the full game, minus 5.5. I love that play. Michigan State on the full game, minus 5.5. That's my first free pick for college football. The next one, here we go, baby. Georgia at Missouri. The total's at 64.5. Pull that trigger on the under. I think the under is going to be what cashes here. 64.5. This is 2 good defenses, even though Missouri right now hasn't been tested with an offense like Georgia. But I think these 2 teams together, combined, will keep it under 64.5. All right, guys, that's the college football breakdown. 2 free picks. Again, we're going to rock and roll. We're going to get it done. We're going to knock it out of the park. And I love both of our plays. More than that, I like the fact that Michigan State had a week off. So Michigan State Spartans on the full game minus 5.5. Georgia and Missouri under 64.5. Guys, it's weekend time. I say it all the time, and I mean it. That means family time. So please separate yourself from the computer, from this business, from the TV. Make sure you're spending a couple hours, a couple good quality hours with your family on the weekend. All right, guys, bet responsible. Beat your bookie. Build that bank with Brenner. And don't forget that Brenner Blast and that Brenner Breakdown is coming to you, baby. Again, right now, I'm telling you, Chicago Cubs, they choked for us today. That's all right, though. Bounce back is our middle name. We'll get it done tomorrow. Have a great day. 2 picks. And don't forget, you better jump on both of them. Georgia and Missouri on the under 64.5. Michigan State Spartans on the full game minus 5.5.